So when I'm setting up this video and planning it out, the title, somewhere in the word title, we were going to have remedial learning about Medicare. And I decided that remedial has a really bad context to sending out to our customers. So this is Medicare for people that are already on Medicare. You're over 65, you've been there for a while, and we're going to go back and go over some critical stuff you need to know. And I'm just going to tell you, if you can tell me right now, within $1 a month, what you're paying for your Medicare supplement insurance, you don't need to watch this video. If you can't, and you're not 100% sure of it, you absolutely do. And I want to bring Tom on. He's going to share with you why we're doing this video today.
We're doing this video to save you money on your Medicare supplement, not just now, but into the future. I mean, we're going to go through, we'll show you how it works. We'll talk about sort of the basics of Medicare again real quickly. But at the end of the day, these supplement prices, they go up and you need to check these every 3 to 4 years. And if you haven't, you're paying too much. And so let me show you the show notes here. I'll turn it back to Hans here in a second. But we have these at the link below our video. They're also on our website. We have the board, as always. The most of this guide, and I'm not going to go through all of it, is the choosing a Medigap policy. So this talks all about Medicare supplements, how they work, what your rights are. If you want to go to sleep, read through this whole thing. But everything we're going to talk about in this video, we could point back to in this book where it is. It's pretty long. Again, I don't want to flip through this call. We'd be on here all day reading through this. But it's on the website. If you want it, you can have it. And really, if you have any questions, just give us a call.
Okay, so let's go over the quick lesson on Medicare. Original Medicare has Part A, which is your hospital and skilled nursing. And it has Part B, original Medicare, which is your doctor and outpatient. I've been selling Medicare supplement insurance since 1976. And when I sold it in the beginning, people would have a red, white, and blue Medicare card, Part A and Part B, hospital, doctor, they'd buy a Medicare supplement, they were good to go. There weren't even drug plans around. Medicare didn't pay for drugs. People didn't complain about it because drugs were not that expensive then they are now. This was pretty simple. And what people had in between was a Medicare supplement policy. That's what I sold. Now, when you move into, it was about 2005, 2006, the government added Part C, which is Medicare Advantage, and they added Part D. Now, everybody is not on Part C. Only the people that choose to are on Part C, which is a Medicare Advantage plan. Most people are on Part D, which is a drug plan. And a drug plan is usually included in Part C. And so now I got everybody confused. It's like, what in the world's going on? And over the past few years, there's been a gigantic push by the people marketing this, and not necessarily by the government, but to get people to leave original Medicare and leave their supplement and move over to a Part C Medicare Advantage plan. And you may be some of those people. You may be one of those persons. And if that's the case, you can't, and you want to get off of this for whatever reason, you're pretty much stuck there until the fall open enrollment season, Medicare Advantage annual enrollment, and then you can apply to get back onto original Medicare, and then you can apply to get a new Medicare supplement, and you can get that all fixed up for next year. This video is really not designed for you, other than the fact if you want to learn something about Medicare supplement and possibly consider going back to that. Who I'm really talking to today are the people that have a Medicare supplement, and they have had one for at least a couple of years, 3, 4, 5 years, and they've just been sitting on the same one. I want to teach you about it. I want to teach you about the Medicare supplement. You're probably real satisfied with it. I had an accident back in January. I just went on Medicare in last July, and my first real use of this thing, I have a Plan G. I got original Medicare, Part A and Part B, and a Plan G, and it's in the tens of thousands of dollars for the work they did on my knee and the physical therapy and all that kind of stuff. My out of pocket has been $240. And to add to that, I could choose whatever doctor I wanted to go to, which was a real blessing in my case. In any case, there's real advantages to going over here, but it costs more. But it's also the reason when this stuff goes up and up and up and up, there's a lot of apathy of the customers that have had this for a while, and they're actually paying too much. They could make a small change and pay a lot less premium, but they do nothing about it. So if that's possibly you, I want to give you some insight into this. So the Medicare supplements, there are 10 plans. This has been the law of the land for 30 plus years, is that the government went in and they dictate, or they created all the different Medicare supplements. There's 10 of them, A through N. And what a lot of people are buying these days is the Plan G. Some people are buying the Plan N. Some people buy the high deductible Plan G. So I'm not so much going to favor any one plan, but at least of our customers, a lot of them are on Plan Gs. We have about 5,000 customers on Medicare supplement policies through our firm that are renewing every month. And we're painfully aware that these things start going up the second year, the third year, the fourth year. Again, companies have a way of being low at one point, and then 3 years later, they're up substantially. And there's a new guy coming in there who is another large company. They're not really new, but they got a much lower price that they can change to. And so we call on our own customers regularly and inform them of what everyone else is charging. Okay. So I want to just go through a point of this real quickly, and then we're going to bring Tom on, and Tom is going to show you how you can actually check your price at our website without even telling us who you are. So you got these 10 plans. A lot of you are on Plan G. Some of you may be on Plan F because you bought it before 2020 and you're still on it, and you haven't even thought about shopping it because you didn't think it was available. You can change your old Plan F for a new Plan F. And Tom will show you how you can do that, at least get the price for it to see if you want to do it on the rate calculator. And what I'm going to challenge you is, how much are you paying, like I did in the beginning? Go in and look at your bank statement, because most of these things are set up on a bank draft, so they deduct it out of your checking account every month. And if you go in and look at your bank statement, or go online to your bank account and look for the name of the company you have your supplement, and you look over there at the monthly draft and just see how much it is or how much it was last month, that's the way you find out the premium. And a lot of folks, they're just asleep at the wheel with this, and they've got a large balance in their checking account. They don't watch it that closely. They know that it's gone up, and then they've made the assumption, because all these plans are identical. I mean, a Plan G from one company is exactly the same as a Plan G from another company. They make the assumption they're all the same price. And over time, that's not true in the beginning, but it's really not true over time. So after 2, 3, 4 years pass, more than likely, you can make a change to a new Plan G, which has identical benefits, or a new Plan M or a new Plan F, and pay a much lower premium for exactly the same thing. So I want to bring Tom on, and I want him to get fired up about showing you the rates. And I'm going to give you an example while he's getting ready to show you the rates. This is one of our own customers. So in 2019, they bought a policy for $87.33 a month, a Plan G. This is a female who is now age 72. So she was 67 back then. That premium in 2024 had increased to $177.78. So it had more than doubled, just a few dollars over double in 5 years. We sold her with another large company the exact same thing in 2024, $117.81 a month. So we contacted her. She wasn't sitting there saying, this thing's gone up, I want to I want to make a change. We found her and informed her of this. So what I want Tom to do is show you how you can check your rate without even calling in, and just understand that you could call in if you just wanted us to do the work for you. Give us a call. But go ahead, Tom.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is a real problem that's out there. It's like if you try to Google Medicare supplement calculator and try to go calculate this yourself, you're going to have a lot of things that show up online, but almost all of them are going to require you to put in your name, your phone number, your email address, with the promise that you're going to get a quote. And then they say, okay, we'll have someone call you. And now your phone is blowing up. I mean, you're getting calls, from 3 or 4 or 5 different agents trying to sell you what they're trying to sell you, and it's just a nightmare. And so what we did on our website is really just opened up the calculator to everybody where they can see it. You can run your numbers. You don't have to provide any identifiable information. We don't even know you ran it. It doesn't really matter. Ultimately, the hope would be that you call us and help us. We would allow us to sell it to you. But again, I guess you don't have to. But where you find this calculator, it's at cardinalguide.com, which is our website. We reference this a lot in the show notes or in the videos about the show notes. I'll show you that just real quick. Is that's under the Learning Center and show notes. So every time we do these videos, we have these show notes. That's where you find it. But today we're going to look at the Medicare. So up at the top, you have the 7 worries. This lists all the things we talk about in the videos. You'll notice this matches these boxes we have on the side of our board. But you go to Medicare, it will pull up stuff in the Medicare page. It has more information. It has the guide that we reference that's in the show notes. Actually, it has some past blogs and things like that. But what we're looking for is about halfway down the page. It's this big red thing that says "Start Free Comparison." This is where you can type in your information and run a quote. So I'm going to put in the office zip code here of 27713. We're going to do a 72-year-old female, just as an example. But again, if this is you, put in your information. You might be 75, you might be 69, whatever it is. We'll put female, no tobacco use. Again, if you do smoke, put that there and hit run comparison. It's going to pull up another page, and this is where we're going to be able to look at the quotes. It will run the quotes. I'll show you in a second how we can switch between a G plan, an N plan, F plans, whatever plan you're looking for. One other point that I will make is these prices are assuming that none of the discounts apply. A lot of these companies will offer a discount if you're married, if you live with somebody. We haven't done that on the software, so that your actual rate might be a little bit less than what you're seeing here. So this is essentially the most it would be. But for a 72-year-old female looking for a G plan, which is under this plan section here, you have the list of companies. Allstate at 113, Mutual of Omaha at 122. We have Aetna at 124, Cigna at 125. I mean, you'll just see the list. I mean, it goes on and on and on. And so this is where you can really look to see it. Like Hans said, if you don't know what you're paying, go look at your bank statement. Most people, they get these letters, they bury the increase in the letter on the second page a lot of the times, and you just ignore it, which is fine. I mean, it's great the supplement's working well. If it wasn't working well, you would be looking to switch anyways, but these all work great. We really have no complaints about how they work. And then what happens is you go through and 3 or 4 years later, you're paying a lot more than you have to. And there's really no reason to do it. A G plan is a G plan is a G plan. There is no reason to be paying more than you have to for the same coverage. And the other point that I think is real important is, these do go up. All of these go up over time. That's the nature of it. As you get older, it's more expensive. But if you can keep switching to a lower price every couple of years, you're really keeping that price down, because when you do get sick, there's going to be some point in your future something happens health wise that prevents you from switching. Hopefully that's many years down the road, but we just don't know when that's going to happen. And when that happens, you're going to be stuck with that company. And we want that starting point of whatever company we're stuck with at that point. We want that to be the lowest price possible. The way to do that is to switch every 3 to 4 years. Let me show you real quick. So under this plan G, say this person was looking for an F plan. You would just hit the plan, you'd hit the F plan, it then runs the quotes. We'll look at the prices for the F plan, but that's where you would change that. If you need to change the age or something like that, you do that back on our website. Again, here you'd enter in the information there. But we'll let it run for the F plan. We'll see what those prices are. But again, if you haven't used this calculator or you don't know what you're paying, I would highly encourage you get your bank statement out, look to see what they're taking out of your bank each month, go compare it to this, and if there's a pretty big difference, you might be worth going to switch and try to save some money here.
I've got some other examples here. A guy age 76 in Louisiana. In 2021, we wrote him a plan for $162.32 a month, the Plan G. In 2024, just 3 years later, it had gone to $225.75, and now we sold him a new plan with a new company, another large national company, $168.73 a month, almost back down to what he was paying 3 years ago. And I would almost guarantee you this guy was our customer for all these purchases. I'm guessing that he bought from us before maybe once or twice. So we call on our own customers and offer them continuously whatever rates are available. Now, I want to bring up this business of underwriting. Is once you're through the open enrollment, which you are if you've made it this far in the video, when you first got your Medicare supplement, you didn't have to answer any health questions. So when you want to make this change, you're going to have to answer some health questions. And then people say, oh, well, that's why I haven't called. That's why I haven't done anything about it. And these are not really difficult questions. I mean, you can look at them as difficult if you get turned down for the coverage, but you can have had heart problems and you can have had cancer. You just need to have some time between when you had the heart problems and they got under management and then now, or when you had heart surgery, or when you had surgery for your cancer or treatment and you've been without cancer for some companies it's 2 years, some companies it's 3 years. So with a lot of illnesses, when you've just been released from the doctor, you're eligible to make a change. So I don't want people to be scared off with underwriting. I also want you to understand that we have 30 different companies that we represent who all their underwriting is a bit different. Some of them are more stringent than others. So, and we're pretty familiar with their underwriting. So if you've gotten your premium way up there and you want to consider making a change, we're only going to do that for you if it's in your best interest. And we're going to look at the whole assortment of companies to find one that will accept you. So it's easy to change. We can do it right over the phone. We do Zooms, but most of our people buying a Medicare supplement, it's just a thing over the phone, and then we email them the thing to sign. If they don't like email, they'll do some of those with text. And then if you change your Medicare supplement, and sometimes we apply people with 2 or 3 companies. And when the first one we pick, they turn them down. We apply with another one, they turn them down. And then the third one takes them. Because we tell them all what conditions you have, and it's not a problem for us. So we do this quite a bit for people. And if we're going to look at changing your Part D or your drug plan, we're going to have to wait till the fall of the year to actually do that. So point of this video is just to get it is if you've been very happy with your coverage, it's been paying your bills, doesn't appear like it's gone up that much, or you haven't looked at it, I just suggest you check your bank statement. That's where you can see what they took out last month. And then you go to our website, or if you're not comfortable going to the website, you give us a call and we'll do that part for you, and we'll give you, or we'll even email you the price quote. And you can do your own shopping. So I want to bring Tom back on. I want to check that we've really only talked about Medicare out of one of the 7 worries. I'm Hans Scheil.
And I'm Tom Griffith.
And we thank you very much for listening.
Thank you.